All right, we are back 14 days later.
I
But it's
feel like we've been
really
here before.
just, really just, hey, did I mention fuck Robin? Um,
We're
I,
even wearing the same outfits.
I hate Robin right there. Um, yes, we are back because we missed a week, so we're like quadrupling up episodes. We are wearing the same outfits. I did debate changing, but then I would have had to get up, and that's just the whole thing.
Quick
Um,
costume change. It's
Yeah,
fine.
quick costume. Maybe I should have threw a hat on. I'll just put this. I got a dryer sheet right here. I just like a yarmulke or something. I don't know. Autumn's with us right there. Hi, Autumn.
Okay.
Clip it,
I don't,
post
I
it.
don't know anybody named Autumn.
I don't either. I don't think.
Hmm,
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 hmm. If
hmm.
your name's Autumn and you want to have sex, email me at grantpaul013@gmail.com.
I knew that was coming.
Hopefully she is.
Oh my God. You're the worst. So, episode 12?
Episode 12, The Wedding. This premiered on January 9th, 2006. Um, the recap. I will start with the first paragraph. We will dissect per usual. By the way, this is the Tip Tip podcast. I'm here with Linda.
What up?
How I Met Your Mother edition. I do have some other I just want to get it out there now. I do have some other podcasts planned. We're having the lesbian and the Canadian come back. And hopefully some other stuff going on. I still gotta get with your dad.
He
Um,
does want to do it still.
Yeah, I got to get with your dad still. Not like get with him, but like,
That would be weird.
yeah,
That would be weird.
that would be strange.
Yeah, I don't
Would
love
we
that.
both be your dad then?
Ugh, ugh. I hate that. I hate that so much.
That would be so gay.
I mean, yeah, it would be, like, quite actually.
Oh, we would just be having sex and shit. That's weird. Oh man, there must have been something in that last sip of autumn. Holy fuck. Um, all
He's not
right.
gonna want to come on the podcast anymore.
Oh man, good God. So, the wedding.
Let's talk about a wedding.
The wedding. Ted worries about finding a date for his friends Claudia and Stuart's black tie wedding. Oh, I can't talk about this.
Why?
Fuck.
Why?
Because it's related to my family. What if they listen? So
You just
my
you
cousins
just said
have.
you were gonna have sex with my
Oh
dad.
yeah,
Or
that's
is
true.
there anything off
Yeah,
limits?
that's. I guess that is. So my cousin's having a black tie wedding.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I'm not fucking going.
because it's black tie.
Yeah, man, I got a purple tie. You know,
You do know that's not what that means,
I
right?
know I have to get a whole tuxedo and stuff.
You don't
Um,
have to get a tux. You just have to
yeah,
go in a.
black tie means tux.
No, you could just get a nice fitted suit.
Siri, what does black tie wedding mean? A black tie wedding is a formal wedding that takes place in the evening and requires guests to wear tuxedos and floor-length gowns.
Really? Yeah, but like tuxes don't mean that you
Well,
gotta like bow tie it
I
up.
also
Like,
think there needs to be some clarity. There hasn't been an invite yet, maybe. I don't really know. I just found this out. You know, she probably doesn't listen, so whatever. But yeah, I mean, I'll probably end up going, but it's just a black tie is a lot to ask of guests, I feel like.
I mean, I could kind of see that. I kept our dress code pretty like business cash. I
Oh, don't
just
worry. I got 1,000,007 wedding questions for you.
let me have them. Let's recap
Especially
and
because I wasn't there.
okay,
So,
we've been over this. For the viewers that don't know.
all right, anyway, so Ted worries about finding a date for his friends Claudia and Stuart's black tie wedding. Ted remembers getting the invitation. Oh, I don't remember that. Months ago when checking his RSVP that he would be bringing a guest. Like when you get invited to a wedding, you get a wedding invite and you got to send back you're going you bringing a guest or not because they got to pick their meal, they got to have a place for them at the wedding, things like that.
Which is also so 2006 because
Yeah,
we didn't have a like, are you having chicken or beef? Like you ate what
buffet
we
style
picked.
is usually how it
Yeah,
rolls now.
yeah.
Like
You ate what we paid for.
also like when I went to my friend Heather's wedding, I said I think I might bring a date, I'm not sure, and she was cool with that. That was like 3 or 4 years ago. She was fine with it.
As long as you imply that there's a better than not chance that you're bringing a plus
Yeah.
one. Not having a plus one show up, you just have extra food.
Right, and that's the we had broken up before the wedding. So I mean
Yeah.
I text her and let her know. She's like, dude, whatever. She's like,
Yeah.
you're good.
If you decide you're going to bring a plus one and you don't tell the bride,
Yeah, that's different. That's like bringing somebody to a party uninvited.
yes, exactly.
So
Because
the best move is to find the groom's latest ex-girlfriend, make her your plus one. Ho
that's
ho!
really awkward.
Fireworks would be
You
flying.
know, now that we're like besties again, I do have a confession to make.
Oh my God, here we fucking go.
I was so worried. And this is part of the reason why, can I name names?
Yeah, fuck it. I just told my cousin she shouldn't have a fucking black tie wedding. So I
This
mean
is
it.
this is a very small part of the reason why I did not put like Sarah or Andrea or
Oh, they
Kristen.
bring me as a plus one.
Yeah, I
That'd be
was so
lit.
afraid. I was so
So really,
afraid.
I'm the reason nobody was invited.
I was so
Oh,
afraid
that
that
makes me
somebody
feel so
was.
much better about it.
I was terrified that if I invited one of the girls that we hung out with, because like Corey wasn't going to bring you as a plus one, he was in the bridal party.
Oh, he would
Um,
have though.
but I was so
If I could have
terrified that
got to him, I could have definitely convinced him.
I was so scared that
Nah,
somebody
I
was
wouldn't
going
have
to
showed
bring
up.
you as a plus
Nah,
one.
I wouldn't have
And
showed up
then
to your wedding.
I would have had to go full on bride fucking
Nah,
Zilla.
I wouldn't have done that. That's one of the things I wouldn't have, even in my drunkest, I wouldn't have messed with.
That's fair. That's fair.
Um. Anyways, should we got a fucking invite? Let's see
I
where
do
were we?
regret it now, if that means anything at all.
I mean, I'll be at your next one, I guess. I could just get back at you and get married and not invite you. Of course, now it would be real awkward because we're so close.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be best man. What the fuck?
All right, let's get into this. This is getting a little fucking atrocious. I don't know how that. Anyway, Ted worries about finding a date for Claudia and Stuart's black tie wedding. Ted remembers getting the invitation months ago and checking on his RSVP that he would be bringing a guest. When Robin announces that she and her boyfriend, Derek, which I feel like I know so much about but so little, have broken up, Ted decides to invite her to the wedding and she accepts. But when Ted
Very
runs,
excitedly too,
yeah, very
might I add.
excitedly, she's wait, this I got a question. Hold on. So when I don't even know if I wrote this one down. So when guys or so when girls so she was like excited and then she ran up to Lily and she's like, I need a dress. And Lily's like, oh my God, in only 4 days? And
Mhm.
like they pranced out of the bar in a panic. Why?
Well,
Why?
I mean,
Why?
for black tie, finding a like formal gown,
Her gown
it
was red too, it was not black.
not the point.
Can we call it African American tie? Please keep it politically correct.
Sure. Finding a formal, like floor length gown that does not need to be like hemmed or altered or like fitted somehow. Finding a like perfectly fit right off the rack dress is
Hard.
very hard to do when you're trying to meet a certain dress code specification. Um, like I've been to one other like very formal event in my life, and I found a dress that fit everywhere except for the length.
What was it?
Oh, I don't even remember, to be quite
Oh, it
honest.
must have really not been that great.
It wasn't. It wasn't. It
I
was
thought
some
some of
sort
the
of.
air show for sure.
No, I've never been to like a formal like air show gala. I'm not
Huh.
that cool.
Right. I just didn't know if that was a thing. They were acting like Hurricane Katrina was rolling in that bitch. They were very nervous. They were,
What?
because if it didn't fit, if there'd be a flood. I don't know. Anyway,
Those are
uh,
pants. Those are
um,
for pants. Floods are
anyway,
pants.
I told you I got a lot of questions this time. So, they broke up. Ted decided to invite her to the wedding again. Again, another opportunity Ted has to enjoy himself that Robin wrecks.
Yep. Could have just made out with bridesmaids with
Could have
Barney.
could have just quit playing music, set up professional audio. No, I'm not. My singing has been alluded to. Okay, I'm not sure what to yeah, sure, not sure what's going on here.
I'm laughing so hard I'm shaking my
All
computer.
right. But when Ted runs into Claudia 2 days before the wedding and mentions that he is bringing a date, Claudia tells him that he did not check that he was bringing a date on his RSVP card, and she forbids him from bringing a date to the wedding. A little drastic. I feel like
Not at all.
little
Not at
nope,
all.
not.
2 days before the wedding when your guest count and like all of your food is already paid
Dude, what
for.
if she just didn't fucking eat? I would have been like, she could have my plate. Like,
Yeah,
whatever.
but like
What if fucking Stuart's grandma dies and Hayden,
chairs, table
oh, she can sit on
settings.
my lap. Fuck it.
I mean,
I'm
no.
just saying, a little dramatic. She could have worried about other things.
If somebody would have texted me or called me 48 hours before the wedding, which mine was kind of destination because it was 2 hours away, so like people were traveling in.
Love me.
Um, whatever. Fuck you, dude. Um, I would my head would have fallen off. Like, yo, I gave you 6 months to RSVP.
Hmm.
Do not call me 2 days before and expect a seat and expect a meal
It's
because
true. It was pretty selfish of Ted too.
it is
Well,
very
it gets
selfish.
more selfish of Ted.
It
This
is
not
very
so
selfish.
far. It isn't that bad. It gets
Also,
worse.
I want to point this out now because I'm gonna forget.
Okay.
But this is very important to episode 13. The phone call that Claudia is having when she runs into Ted, she's on the phone with the bakery
Oh no, piss! I didn't realize that.
because she's talking about, of course, I ordered Tahitian vanilla. If
I
my
didn't know
wedding
what
cake is
Tanishan
not,
was, so I thought she was talking to fucking Rajit's cousin. Fuck.
she's like,
That's
she's
racist.
like, if my wedding cake is not Tahitian vanilla, and then we find out later on where the wedding cake came from,
Oh.
she's on the phone with the
Miss
bakery.
Victoria, son of a bitch.
Little
Vicky V.
little foreshadowing there.
Little foreshadowing into the cake and the pie. All right.
And the
Pie's
pie.
vagina. Vagina. Pie. Just kiss. Clip it. Um. Yeah.
We're in
So
rare form tonight.
anyway, anyway. Uh, what's hot? So Ted tries to tell Robin. Okay. First of all, I'm gonna read this, and I'm still mad at Robin. I want to make that very clear that Robin can still get fucked.
Mhm.
Ted tries to tell Robin that he will not be able to take her to the wedding, but he chickens out when he sees Robin in the dress she bought specifically for the wedding. Robin looked hot as fuck.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did.
I I would have turned a whole limo around on New Year's Eve for that.
Yeah, fair. Same.
But also not
She's still a
cool.
bitch.
She's still a bitch.
She's still a
We are
bitch.
still on a hate Robin campaign. Even you can even dress a pig up once and make it look pretty, as they say.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck
Yeah.
Robin.
Fuck Robin.
When he this is wild to me. So really, I guess we kind of gotta dive into Lily and Marshall a little bit. So they can't seem to agree on their wedding and what they want to do. And Lily is actually taking the more man approach to the wedding, more laid back, more like what was it, barefoot in the forest or some shit.
Yeah,
And
she wanted
Marshall's
an
like, I
outdoor
want a
wedding.
ball. I want to. And one of my favorite lines is when Marshall was like, I want it in a ballroom. I want something, something, something.
I want to
And
wear
then
shoes.
yeah, I want to wear shoes. And then he's like, I've been thinking about this for and Lily goes, since when? You were a little girl?
Yup, yup. But
I
like
just
it's
it's really funny.
it totally makes sense though because I remember like there were certain things that I would not budge on and then there were certain things that I was like, I don't know.
Give me
And
an example of a non-budget besides me
um
not being invited.
I wasn't going to budge on colors, like the colors for the
You
wedding.
didn't let any blacks come to your
Oh
wedding?
my
Oh my
God.
God. That's
Not
fucking awful.
not
Oh,
gonna do it.
Jesus. Wow.
I wasn't gonna budge
Learning a
on
lot.
colors for the wedding, but
Okay. What were
I
your
was
colors so the people know?
like a dark purple and turquoise.
Wow. Didn't invite me to the wedding, and dark purple is my favorite color. That is
I'm
fucked.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Favorite
But
color.
I
I would
was
have had a
very
perfect tie.
you would have had a perfect time. I was
Shucks.
very of the opinion that like all of the boys needed to be in dress shoes. And at one point Tim told me like it was really important to him that after the ceremony he was allowed to wear his high top Vans
Yeah.
with his
Yeah.
gray tux. And I was like, that's gonna look weird. It's gonna look kind of lame. Everybody's doing that now. We're gonna be a cliche, but it's something that Tim really, really wanted to do. So I was like,
He's such an idiot.
It's like,
Of
okay,
all the
fine.
things,
I'll let it
you get
happen. I
like
mean,
three things to leverage on the wedding, and he chose that.
well, I mean, I also let him pick our first dance song because it was the
The cha-cha side.
no.
No.
It was the remaster of Stand By Me that they used for Final Fantasy.
Okay. Well,
Yeah. So
so being a lesbian,
I let
uh,
Timmy get away with that one too
that's actually
because
that's pretty good for him. Good
yeah.
for him.
Yeah.
Nothing like dressing like a middle school boy and listening to your favorite middle school song for
Hey,
a
you know
wedding.
what? Putting the Vans on for the
No, I
reception
think that's
though.
cool. I think it's
It
cool
made the
after
pictures
this.
look great.
So yeah, I was gonna say. So did you get some pictures with the dress shoes on?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so I think that's cool. Then you have like the laxed pictures, like
Mm-hmm.
the groomsmen are having fun and like less.
Exactly.
Yeah. Plus, nobody wants to
Exactly.
walk around in them fucking shoes all day. Um.
They were also rental shoes too. Like Tim did
Oh
not
yeah.
go out and buy dress shoes.
Yeah. Oh
So like yeah, I mean certain things the guy should have some say in and like they do get really excited about certain aspects. And I don't think it's fair for Lily to be teasing Marshall so badly because Marshall wanted to be invested in the planning, which most guys don't want to do.
yeah.
They just
I
don't want it.
when I was engaged, we were gonna do a Marvel themed wedding, and she
That's
was
kind of
cool with
fun.
that. And I should have known at that point in time that she was a psychopath. This is probably when she was completely on board with anything I wanted. That's probably when I should have known there's something not working here. You know?
Well, I mean,
But teach their own. Shout out Amanda. Um when I almost dropped her last name. That would have been fucking terrible. When he does it almost flew, I just struggled to stop. It's almost vomited all over. Um when he tells we're never gonna get through fucking 40 minutes of this. When he does, oh, I'm out of fucking control. So somebody give me some fucking Zoloft. Um, when he tells Lily his problem, Lily suggests that Ted asks Stuart if he can bring a date. What even I know that's a terrible idea.
yeah, you don't go around the bride. You do not
First of
go
all,
around the bride.
just the fact that I didn't realize that it's such a big deal to do these little things means Stuart absolutely does not realize it is a big deal.
Nope. Nope.
So, and why Lily suggests that, I don't know.
I don't know either, but I think I would give her the benefit of the doubt just simply because they're not deep into planning their wedding yet. Because if you flash forward a season or
Yes.
season and a half later, Bride Lily would have freaked the fuck
Well,
out.
and I also think some of it is to prove to Marshall that not everybody is as crazy as he is about his wedding.
Good
And
point.
it
Good point.
obviously backfires.
Yeah.
So Stuart says that of course Ted can bring a date. Ted is excited that he and Robin will have a romantic evening that might lead to their getting together. Again, Ted making something it's not.
hmm
Just because it's a wedding doesn't mean it's not gonna be like the fucking movies where you fall in love at the first dance with the bride and the groom and he's taking a cliche thing and romanticizing it.
Yeah.
Fuck Robin.
Fuck
Um
yeah.
so that might lead to them getting together until Claudia calls to say that the wedding has been canceled. Apparently, Stuart telling Claudia that he said that Ted could bring a date led to a huge argument and the couple broke up. Concern, which is I feel like maybe not so much a breakup, but I feel like a lot of couples hit that point in their wedding planning where they just want to almost nag the other one on or see oh, it's not that serious that your dad sits there. Get over it. And you're like, he needs to sit there now. And just I feel like it gets to that contentious point.
Bro, it happened the day of my wedding.
That doesn't surprise me. Tim was always kind of a last minute guy.
Tim left the premises the day of the wedding with Austin.
Maybe they went to make out. Wouldn't have left with me.
They went to go buy fucking cigarettes. And then
Oh, that
Austin's
checks out.
dumbass, love Austin, shout out Austin.
Yeah, shout
But
out Austin. Should have been me, but shout out Austin.
Austin's dumbass didn't have enough gas in his car. So not only did they leave the venue to go get more cigs, which my dad had a carton, they could have just gone to the cabin and gotten a pack of cigs. They left the venue without enough gas. And then they got lost.
This is
And
what happens when I'm not involved because I would have been too drunk to drive and would have remembered that your dad had cigarettes in the cabin because I wouldn't have wanted to hear Tim bitch.
The jury's still out on whether or not that journey took place before any drinking started.
I mean, knowing your husband,
Mm-mm.
uh,
Yeah. No, the I want to strangle you, it's not a big deal. That happened the morning of the wedding.
yeah,
I'm in
that
the
seems like a bigger deal than Stuart suggesting Ted can bring a date.
I mean a little bit, yeah, a little bit.
uh, all right, well, so concerned about their friends, not wanting to disappoint Robin, who's really looking forward to the wedding. Marshall and Ted go to talk to Stuart, and Lily goes to comfort Claudia. I have an issue with this, and we're going to get to it. So Bart, Claudia's at McLaren's where they meet,
Hmm.
which is normal. We would have met at scoreboards, perfectly normal.
Hmm.
Lily is upstairs
Yeah.
in the apartment.
It took her so long to get there.
Why did it take her so long to get to the bar?
I have no idea. I have
I
no
mean,
idea.
Barney nearly inserted penis in her in the time it took Lily to get there.
Right.
All right, this is where I'm going to chime in. As if I haven't already. Stuart tells Ted and Marshall that he. What? Where's my mouse frozen? Oh, there we go. Okay, phew, I just want to make sure I start recording. That would have been terrible. I had a lot of good stuff here. Um, Stuart
Right.
tells Ted and Marshall that he realized that he is missing being single. I feel like that's very normal.
Yeah.
In any relationship, there's that. It's actually in anything you can glorify the grass is greener, and I think I think it's even a healthy thought to have to make
Hmm.
you see what you have in front of you
Oh,
by
agreed.
playing the tape through.
Agreed.
Um, Ted tries to assure Stewart that everyone has doubts about commitment. Thank you. But those doubts shouldn't keep him from getting married. But when Ted asks Marshall to back him up, Marshall tells Stewart that he shouldn't get married.
But for good reason.
Uh,
For
if
good
making a
reason.
commitment to Claudia wasn't easy, and then she isn't the one for Stewart, which is true, which we will also get back to in the next episode, just so you
Hmm.
know. At McLaren's, Barney finds Claudia, who is waiting for Lily, and offers her fake sympathy and a lot of alcohol. Not rapey. Trying to sleep with her. Also, not rapey.
Not at
Lily
all.
pulls Barney away from Claudia just as Stewart arrives with Ted and Marshall because of Marshall's words. So when Lily pulls Barney away from Claudia, I forget exactly what she says. I'll kill you or something.
She
It
said she was gonna pop out his eyeballs, rip off his testicles, and then feed them to him like grapes.
Yes,
And
A
Barney's
very
like,
Linda
well,
thing to say to me.
which one? And she goes, one of each, which I definitely related to.
Yeah, that was good.
I would take your eyeballs and your balls and then
Yeah,
feed
that's
them to
fucked
you.
up. That's not cool.
Don't
Nothing,
mess with the redheads, bitch.
So Stewart arrives with Ted and Marshall because of Marshall's words. Stewart apologizes to Claudia, and the couple gets back together. With a few more drinks, Claudia finally agrees to allow Ted to bring a date. Also, fun fact: Barney's like, "Can we get a cranberry Red Bull? Wasn't there cranberry
Vo
vodka,
Vodka cranberry.
vodka cranberry?" And she's like, "You know my favorite drink." And he looks at the bartender. He goes, "They all drink vodka cranberry."
Yep. Yep. She's
um,
like, you remembered. And he's like, they all
So here comes my real hating Robin. Let me get properly prepared. The night of the wedding, Ted arrives at Robin's apartment to pick her up. But just before they leave, Robin receives a phone call. Her producer is calling to offer her an opportunity to anchor the news that evening. Though disappointed, Ted tells her to go to work. Ted goes to the wedding alone, and Claudia shows him his RSVP, and it proves that, contrary to his memory, he did indeed check that he would be attending the wedding alone. Thinking that mistake revealed that he really had given up finding someone, Ted tells Barney that he is ready to just be single when he meets eyes with a pretty woman across the room. Meanwhile, Marshall and Lily begin planning their wedding, but they disagree about what kind of ceremony to have. Lily wants an outdoor wedding, Marshall wants an indoor wedding with a band. Also, they're really into the bands in this. Like, this is the whole thing with Ted's wedding, too.
Yeah, yeah.
But at Claudia and Stuart's wedding, they finally agree on something. Crab puffs. Good choice.
Great choice.
Um,
We did not have crab puffs at our wedding.
Yeah, I also wasn't there, so it was fine.
And to be quite honest with you, I don't know what we had as far as like cocktail hour hors d'oeuvres because I was not there. I was getting pictures taken.
Lame.
Yeah, I know. And everybody told me that the apps were really good.
Ah, damn, your mom should have saved you some in a fucking, or somebody should have saved you a fucking container.
There's another funny story about
Oh,
where
sure, funny story. I think I wasn't at. Okay, go ahead.
where the rest of our wedding food went. So at the end of the night, they packed up like leftovers for Tim and I to take back to our treehouse.
Yeah,
And they packed up other stuff too, like they packed up all the desserts and things and we divvied stuff out. Um, and there was one cabin where like the majority of the bridal party and some of my friends from REI were all staying in. Like it had like 15 people in it. So it's like, oh, just send most of the dessert over there.
yeah.
Like save me the wedding cake and like some of the other like mini dessert shooters, but like send most of it over there. Well, Tim and I's like food that they packed up just for us made it over to that cabin.
Oh,
And at like 2:30 in the morning, Austin ate both like, the styrofoam like takeout boxes,
shout out Austin.
ate both Tim's and mine's to-go boxes of our wedding food. Not the dessert. I wouldn't have cared if he ate two boxes of dessert because there were like eight boxes of dessert.
Yeah, there's
He
always more dessert than there's needed.
ate all
Damn.
of it. And then Tim and I finally walked back to our treehouse and we're like, "Where's the food?" Like really confused because we thought the food went back to our treehouse. We thought that somebody took it there. And it was like 4 a.m. We were drunk and high and starving. And there was no food. We found out the next morning that it had all been eaten because it went to the wrong cabin.
Damn, that's fucked up.
I was really upset
Somebody should have
because
got fired.
our food was great.
Can you still be a bridezilla if it's your wedding's over?
I feel like yes, until you leave the property, you could
Then you
still.
just gotcha.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm. So, anyways, fuck Robin.
Fuck
Um,
Robin.
yeah. So basically, Ted again did all this stuff for her, and she just dipped out last minute.
Yep,
Just
she proves, excuse me, she proves what she has proved time and time again in every episode that we've recapped so far.
Ted is not
Robin,
important.
well, there's that, yeah, but
Yep,
Robin chooses herself.
always.
Robin is going to do what is good for Robin, which most of the time I would not argue with because, like, do you, sister? Like, you got a
Yeah, but
big
don't
shot to
lead.
anchor the news, but don't rip somebody's heart out in the process.
Right, don't lead him on while you're still doing your thing. Like when you said you were going to be friends, you should have just stuck and been friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't kiss him at midnight. Don't say yes to the wedding. Don't be like, Ted.
She should have never said yes to the wedding.
Right, just been like, Ted, I think going to a wedding might be a little too serious for us.
Yes. Because there's underlying feelings there, she should have just
Yes.
said no.
And obviously, she had them too. So, on to episode 13. Drum roll, please.
I was trying to do a drum roll and all it did was shake my
I
laptop.
thought you were farting.
Wow. No, I was tapping.
Um,
But now it looks like I'm going through an earthquake, so I'm gonna stop. Okay.
we got
Don't
the bird.
don't do that. Don't do that.
All
That looks
right,
that looks
back to
very
sex with your
wrong
dad.
from your
Um,
angle.
all right. Get out of control here. I think we got 11 minutes to get to the next one. All right, let's do this quick. We can do it. Drum roll, please. So basically, Ted's disappointed that uh, look, I don't need this. Ted's bummed out that he had this very nice evening with this girl he met at the wedding. Um, and they promised to not exchange names. This is what stuck out to me: names, last names, numbers, and emails.
Mhm.
Because that was a thing in the 90s. You
Yep.
evidently exchanged emails. So all you fuck sticks that are making fun of me for shouting out grandpa013 at gmail.com right here on the pod can suck it. Clip it, rip it, and post it. Um, so Marshall, on the other hand, really is obsessed with the cake, as is Lily. They're both mad at Ted for saying that he didn't do any. They had this fascinating evening together, and he never pursued getting her number or anything because she sounds perfect.
Right.
He calls Claudia. Claudia basically tells Ted to shove it. Claudia has got to be super annoyed with Ted because he has no boundaries and everything's about Ted.
That's literally one of my notes. Ted calls
Yeah,
Claudia on her goddamn honeymoon.
right.
That is a man with no boundaries.
How is it more important that Ted finds out? And then the best is Claudia's line. Weren't you just freaking out and in love with the girl you were trying to bring to my wedding who
Yep.
didn't show up and now you're in love again with somebody else?
Yep.
Story of my life. Um, basically, Ted wants this chick, Victoria. Marshall wants cake. Barney got bridesmaid. Robin ended up showing up at the wedding, and she knows who this mystery woman is
Mm-hmm.
because she walked in on them almost kissing.
Mm-hmm.
She was in the bathroom crying. Victoria walked in to drop a deuce. She was like, "Hey, are you okay?" Robin's like, "Yeah, I'm doing this weird thing with my face with tears." Also dropping a deuce. Then they dropped the deuce together. Robin asked how she was in the wedding. Victoria said that I'm the bakery person. I did the cake. Robin said, "Oh, that's great. I'm not used to crying. What's happening?" She finished pooping. Victoria gave her the flowers under the stall. Robin had on the hot dress that was red, but then had poop stains. And then Victoria went back to Ted. Long story short, Robin goes down to the bar Robin's talking to Lily. Lily says, "Fudge, you have tips for, or you have tips. You have feelings for Ted." She says, "I don't know, but I know who the baker is, and I should tell him." And she says, "What are you going to tell Ted? Are you going to tell him you like him, or are you going to tell him that you
You
know who
know who?
Victoria is?"
Yeah.
She goes down to McLaren's. She's going to tell Ted. We don't know what, but she's going to tell Ted something. And then the phone rings, and it's my girl Claudia on the sauce, hammered as fudge, and it says something about the cake place and Buttercup. And Ted's like, "Oh, that was Victoria's alter ego, Buttercup. Oh my
Mm-hmm.
God, the bakery." So then they all get in the cab together again,
Except for Robin.
except for Robin. But they
Robin
all,
does not go.
just like they went to see Robin, they
Yep.
all get in the cab together again, which is what I said will come up later because I still find it weird. And they go to the bakery. And then as Ted's going inside to see Victoria, Marco says, "Get me a cupcake." And he goes in and they start making out. Did I get it all?
Pretty much, yeah. This is the first time that we see Robin actually get like super raw and vulnerable,
Yes.
and then she flips the script and takes it all back when she's talking to Lily. Because when she tells Lily that she's sobbing in the bathroom stall, we finally see some real emotion out of Robin. And then Lily goes, "Well, you know what this means, right? This means you're in love with Ted." And she goes, "Well, I don't know. I don't think
Yeah, she's trying
so."
to backpedal on the
Yes.
situation
Like,
because she doesn't want to admit her feelings.
girl, just own it. Like, just fucking own it.
Well,
That's one of the main reasons why Robin makes me so angry in these like
yes,
3 or 4
because
episodes.
Lily said it. Lily said, "Ted likes you. You like Ted. Be together. What is so complicated about
Yeah,
this?"
it's not rocket science. Just do it.
And also, if Robin were to then have been like, "I got this opportunity to anchor the news on the weekend," and Ted saying, "Hey, go do that," would have been less stupid
Hmm.
because they're a couple. They'll see each other. It's not a big deal. He could say, "My girlfriend Robin had a huge opportunity." It would almost be a dick thing if Ted said no at that point.
Right. Or to counterpoint that, I would say that Ted telling Robin, like, go do it. This is your shot. That should have made Robin realize right then and there, before
Yep.
she even walked into the wedding and saw Ted and
Yes. And
Victoria,
she started
she
pooping.
should she should have realized right then and there that Ted is a good guy and she does love him and that she should do something about it.
Why do all important female conversations happen in the bathroom?
You know, that is a mystery I have yet to crack.
You need to poop more. so we can get
I
the
don't
answers.
I don't think that's it. Also, you went on like a tirade of both of them pooping, and neither one of them was pooping.
How do you
Robin,
know?
because Robin was sitting on top of the toilet. You could see her dress.
Maybe she had a hole in the back of it.
Like a onesie,
Yeah, like a
like the trapdoor
little
onesies.
yeah, like a little poop scoop hole.
Oh
Like a
my God. I can't.
and
I
Victoria
don't
was shitting her pants.
I don't think black tie like formal ball gowns come with trapdoors to shit out of.
I mean, that's just your opinion.
Yeah, yeah, it
Yeah.
is, I guess.
So I mean, my opinion is they were both shitting.
Okay, that's fine.
It's a TV show. We can interpret it differently.
That's fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
I mean,
I'll give you that one.
yeah. I mean, I'm right, so it's fine.
I do
Um.
love that Barney really thought he was gonna get Ted to suit up for this one, and he's
Yes.
like,
Yeah. He was pumped.
yes, and then
He's
he's
like,
like,
"You're finally
no,
gonna listen to me."
and
Ted's like, "No."
and Ted really does like try to go along with it at first. He's like, yeah, and then he's
But
like, no,
did you get why he didn't?
hmm
Because he dressed down.
hmm
Because Victoria said to him she would love to see Ted. When he said, "I'm not usually dressed like this. I'm usually in a beat up
jeans
hoodie
and a
and
beat up
yeah."
hoodie.
So
Yep,
that's what he wore to
that's
see her.
exactly what he wore.
Yeah. Victoria's fucking hot.
She's a piece. I
Smoke
love
show.
Victoria.
And her shoulder strap was hanging off the whole time Ted was talking to her. I was
Was
like,
it?
I want to get in them booties. Yeah.
I did
Yeah.
not realize that.
Yeah. Well, I realized it because I couldn't stop staring at her chest. I'm just going to say it.
That's
I was
fair.
like, whoo! I would like
Let
to bake a cake with them, Bubby's frosting all over. Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Little Grantal syrup on there. Yeah.
Ew. Ew.
Yeah. Like maple
Ew.
syrup, but Grant, and it would be cum. Did you get
I did
it?
not need that explained.
Oh, I just wasn't sure if you understood or not. I just want to make sure you understood.
I
We're
understood.
out of pocket. We should explain things so,
Yeah,
audiences can be, hip and
I'm
edu
tracking.
educational.
Uh,
Anyway,
yeah,
yeah,
educational,
so,
sure.
yeah, sticky cum on her chest. Um, so yeah, go ahead.
I do also love that when Victoria steals the bouquet,
Yes.
it solidifies for Marshall that Victoria was not a ghost. So we get a little splice of Marshall's
Yes,
supernatural
that is true.
obsession.
Because when they're trying to figure out who Victoria is,
He's like, maybe she's a ghost.
Marshall's wise advice is maybe she's a ghost.
That's why she didn't want you to kiss her because you would just pass right through her and be all
Casper.
cold for a sec.
Is that Casper shout out? Didn't
No.
Casper and the girl kiss and he went, or they held hands or something and she went through him?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so
But
that's the Casper shout out from M
and then
Dog.
and then when they're talking about stealing the bouquet, Lily goes, it's such a feminist tradition. Like,
Yes.
I'm so over that. And Ted's like, so are you not gonna do the bouquet toss at your wedding? And she goes, I'm gonna make all those bitches crawl for it.
Yes. Did you do the bouquet toss at your wedding?
Hell no. And there's a story behind that too.
All right, let's hear it. We got 15 minutes.
All right. So,
Moral of the story is, I give we didn't do French horns on the other ones. I give all these episodes probably about four French horns. I think
yeah, I'd say
they're
like
pretty good.
3.5 to 4
Three
probably.
for limo, three. The rest I'd give them four.
I would agree with that.
Still hate Robin.
Yeah, we give Robin a fucking one and a
Robin
half.
gets
Robin gets nothing.
yeah. She's like the poop in the toilet. Garbage. Yeah,
That's
that'll
harsh, man.
that'll teach her shitty
That's
fucking
harsh.
ball gown, black tie, and fair.
So
Yeah.
the reason Linda did not throw her bouquet is because it was like 4 days before my wedding. We're getting ready to like drive to Mohican, like
Okay.
because we had to be there the night before the wedding. Like we left very early Friday. So it's like Wednesday. I'm packing stuff. I'm also trying to pack for our honeymoon at the same time. And I get an email from the Etsy shop that I ordered my bouquet from, telling me that my bouquet was not going to make it in time before we were leaving Cleveland. So I panic. I abs
Why did you order a bouquet off Etsy?
Because it was fucking gorgeous, dude. It was absolutely like breathtaking. I had fake flowers. I didn't have real flowers. And I ordered it months in advance.
Okay. All right.
Like
All right. I'm tracking.
this is May. I ordered this bouquet in probably like February.
Okay, runner
And
up my birthday. Nobody wished me happy birthday, but we got a bouquet. Cool. Okay, go on.
I'm reaching out to the sender. She keeps like telling me everything's going to be fine. Like, we'll get it delivered to Cleveland by May 6th.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, bet. I'm leaving Cleveland the morning of May 7th. So on like May 5th, I get the email saying that, like, hey, your bouquet is still like 6 states away. It is not going to get to you by the time you need to leave for Mohican.
Did they refund you?
Oh yeah, I got refunded.
Okay,
And
good.
ironically enough, I have both of my wedding bouquets.
Nice. Do you want to shout out the ladies Etsy?
I don't remember it, to be
Yeah.
honest with you.
Slutty bitch that fucked up at Etsy.org.
So I'm having a full-blown panic attack.
Well, yeah, obviously.
I don't expect Tim to understand at that point. So I
No.
left our apartment and I drove straight to my parents' house and I was like, I don't know what the fuck to do.
Okay.
And for those
I'm
of you
suddenly hearing your dad panic with you in the background.
No, 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 because Paul was my wedding planner. Like,
Yeah.
for those of you
I
who
gotta
don't
write
know
that
my
down when I
dad,
podcast with him. My guy ask him what it's like to plan a wedding.
for those of you who don't know Linda's dad, he is the ultimate planner and he put those skills to
He
the
he
test.
is the real life Ted Mosby in planning.
No,
And
he most
his
definitely
list
is.
is sanctuary.
He most definitely is. And my father and I single-handedly, no wedding planner, no coordinator. My dad and I planned our entire wedding. Like Tim was involved, but like Paul did it all.
That's great.
So 2 days before we're supposed to drive to Mohican, my dad is in his office at my parents' house in Solon, Googling flower shops near Mohican Grand Barn, trying to see if there's anybody who can either replicate or get close to my Etsy bouquet. And moral of the story is Friday morning, we dropped all of our shit off at the hotel, and my dad said, get in the van. We're going to go to this flower shop and we're going to pick up your new bouquet. Because he was able to find a flower shop that couldn't identically replicate what I had ordered and what I had envisioned for like,
Yeah.
a year and a half. But we got really fucking close. Like crazy how close we were able to get it in 48 hours. And for
Damn.
this flower shop to have enough time to get it made
Oh, they knew your needs.
in like 48 hours was incredible. Like I walked into that flower shop just sobbing. I was so grateful.
Yeah.
And
Do you want to
I
shout out the flower shop?
I don't remember their name
Okay,
either.
wow, you really suck at this.
I mean, I have all of the business cards somewhere, but like it would take me forever to find.
All right.
But no, for that specific reason, I did not end up throwing my bouquet because my bouquet was very, very important to me at that point because
Gotcha.
for a good couple of days, I thought I was walking down the aisle without one. So I was
Nice.
like, no, this is mine. I'm not chucking it. None of you bitches can have it. This is going home
Yeah.
with me.
You know what else never walked down the aisle?
You?
Me. That's so true. That is so accurate. That's crazy. What a
Did I ever tell you the story about almost almost as they were about to open the doors so my dad and I could walk down the aisle, I tripped on the train of my dress and almost fell backwards and my dad caught me with like seconds to spare before cracking my head open.
that's fantastic.
Like they were literally about to open the double doors
Oh my
and I
God, could you imagine if you fell, cracked your head open, bled on your dress?
I would
Oh
have
my
cried. I
God.
would have cried.
I would have cried just for my dress being stained, not even the pain I was in.
Dead ass because
Oh
like
my
I went through
God.
so many fittings and that dress was flawless.
Damn. So we got those were some good episodes. We got some good insights. Sorry for missing last week. Hopefully
Yeah,
we made
we're
up for it.
sorry.
I
I
think
feel like we were
I
pretty
feel like we
fucking
fucking
entertaining.
hit the nail on the head.
Maybe we should
Um,
take weeks off more often
yeah,
because
this
like
was
we were
we were fucking on.
on it,
Yeah.
on
So
it. If
we will be
anybody out there needs advice about planning a wedding, hit me
what
up
hit up
because
her dad. Um
you're
you
gonna
said
give
he
me no
planned the whole thing.
alongside me.
Oh, so hit them up.
Yeah.
Pilly Pad's wedding. Paul and Lily's wedding. Invitationers. I don't fucking
I
know.
don't know if I love that, but yeah, if my dad
Uh,
and I were to ever start a business together
yeah,
outside of the air show, it would be wedding planners.
that's so cool. I cannot wait to make fun of your dad for being a homosexual.
Dude,
Awesome.
he's gonna fully embrace it. Are you kidding?
That's gonna be the first thing I ask him when he comes on the podcast. The first thing was gonna be why am Why am I your favorite friend Melinda's? But now I'm changing it to why do you love to plan weddings?
He's only ever planned one and it was fabulous. Went off without a hitch.
He's,
Except for
he's retired now. He's not
except for
doing
when
anymore.
except for when Tim's mom had a Mohican fire truck show up to the barn.
Well, you'll have that.
That was a fun one. That's a story for another
I mean,
time.
yeah, you got a couple of them because I know you lost a groomsman. So, oh man.
So
All
many
right.
things.
Well,
So many things.
that was a good time. We got some good wedding insights. I had a lot of. I knew I was gonna have a lot of questions.
I got a lot of answers.
Yeah. So until next week, you
What
guys
do we
stay.
have next week?
Oh,
Do we
nice. That's a
know?
great fucking question. I could
I
tell
don't
you.
know.
I just found out a better way to look these up. I just go on my fucking Netflix.
Is that not what you've been doing?
No, I've been looking them up on Google.
Well, shit.
Yeah, I just go right on Netflix because I don't watch them until we do them. It's going to be. I don't need to watch it right now. It's going to be 14, episode 14, Zip, Zip, Zip. I don't know what that's about.
I don't know what that's about either.
Netflix doesn't give me a. Here we go. Hiding in the bathroom, Marshall. Oh, yes, this is a good one. Hiding in the bathroom, Marshall and Lily wait for Ted and Victoria to consummate their relationship, and Barney gets the wrong idea from Robin. That's
Mm,
right, because Victoria has the sex rule.
this is a good one.
Yes,
This is
this
a
is a
good
good one.
one.
So
I
yeah,
like it.
we'll get to that next week. Maybe we'll do two of them next week. It seems to be working out doing two of them.
Yeah, I think we're funnier when we do two of
I
them.
think so too, because there's a lot more to unpack.
Yeah, agreed.
So I would just like to take this time with the last few minutes we have and say, Robin is the most awful character in How I Met Your Mother. She is a complete garbage human being. She's terrible to Ted. She takes advantage of his friendship and him as a person. She takes advantage of the group and their friendship, allowing her into their group to just take advantage of their best friend. She continues to nonstop lead Ted on and lead the group on to think that they're not a group on that you get and use as a coupon, but the group on to think that there may be a Ted and Robin experience and constantly just doing what she wants for the better of Robin instead of the better of everybody else. And she can never see how much she doesn't deserve Ted, but she thinks she always has him in her beckoning call. And Robin is the, maybe not just in How I Met Your Mother, she may be the worst sitcom character ever.
Wow.
Ever.
Wow.
I mean, she is up there with Joffrey from Game of Thrones, in my opinion.
Those are fighting words.
Yeah,
Those are
that's
fighting
how
words.
terrible I now view Robin in my rewatch. So clip it, post it, screw Robin. This is my smear campaign on her.
And if you feel the
Colby
same,
Smothers, you should cancel this character.
I don't think she has a say.
She
But
should go
if
back
you
in time and say Robin should be a nicer person.
but if you feel the same, or if you don't feel the same and like our content, like,
Like,
comment, subscribe.
comment below, clip it, post it, email us at tip to tip podcast. Check out the website, tiptotippod.com. Um,
Where else can we be found? We're
all
like
the others,
everywhere.
all the social medias, TikTok, tip to tip pod, Facebook. Some of the elderly still use that, like me.
Is
We're
there
on
any old?
I tag us on Instagram, Snapchat, but we do it all. We're like fucking rock and
We
rolling these
out
days.
here.
Yeah, we out here,
We
dog.
out here.
We eating. Whatever the kids say, we fed today.
I don't know
Hell
why
yeah,
I don't know why I did that.
yeah,
We should clip that out.
yeah. African American Thai event. Hell yeah, hell yeah. All right, up top.
Up top.
Later.
Bye.
Do 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 do.